Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video, I have to put in a little disclaimer. It is my opinion, so please keep that in mind. I have to state this before even getting into the video because I know the comments down below can get really brutal and I don't want to see any arguments or anything like that. These are just 28 things. Your list on things that aren't worth it could be totally different than mine. So now let's just get into it. Fancy hair mask. I cannot tell you how much money I have spent on hair masks that were supposed to be organic, help your hair grow long, and help your hair get shinier. And I've spent a lot of money in my teenage years and in my early 20s on hair masks that did nothing for my hair. It actually made my hair 10 times worse. So for me, I would say that hair masks are just not worth it. You're better off just using aloe gel at home, blending it in the blender, maybe put a little bit of castor oil in it, and that's it. That's like what I use for my hair now. And this is how long my hair is. You guys cannot see because I have a black shirt on, but it's fairly long and it's a lot healthier than when I used to purchase those expensive hair masks. So. Expensive weddings. Again, I have been a guest at numerous weddings and I've always known the bride and they've always told me how much the wedding cost, and I would say the most expensive wedding I've ever been at was around $65,000 and I just couldn't believe it. I get it, it's nice to have your family around and you celebrating your love and stuff like that, but for me, I don't see the point of having an expensive wedding. If I was to get married, I'd rather put that money towards something a little bit more valuable than just one night. I'd rather put that $65K towards maybe a nice house or maybe travel around the world before having kids. Something a little bit more reasonable than just for one night. And trying to persuade someone to like you. This is something I used to do when I was around 20, 21. I used to hang out with this girl and then that girl had friends and I used to try to get her friends to like me. Even though I knew they didn't, I would try to dress like them or try to like the same things as them, and at the end of the day they were still talking crap. It was just not worth it to try to get someone else to like you, because if someone doesn't like you or someone doesn't like me, then fine, I won't talk to you. It is what it is. Like, my motto has always been now, like as I got older, if you do not like me how I am right now, then you're not gonna probably like me in a year or two from now, because this is who I am and I'm not gonna change anymore for anybody. Fancy cars. What I'm talking about is the Mercedes and the Cadillacs, which I did have a Cadillac, so I've been there, done that fancy car thing. And to me, it's just not worth it. Spending the amount of money on payments, down payment, on everything, just maintenance, it's just not worth it. Ever since I purchased my Honda, I've had no problems, and this is like my 9th vehicle. All the other cars that I had were, most of them were a little run down, but that one fancy car that I purchased just to fit in with everybody else made my credit go down, and I just couldn't afford the maintenance, and it was just a piece of crap. If I could put it that way. So to me, I just had a bad experience. I just don't want to put my money towards a fancy car when again I could put that money to something more reasonable. Driving your car fast in order to impress other people. This has always been a pet peeve of mine. I've never done this, but I've always felt like it's just stupid. It's not worth it. If you want to race, maybe sign up for NASCAR or something, but for me, I just don't see the purpose of going fast. I'm also talking about people rushing to get to work because they're late or whatever. Is that 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even a half hour you being late worth risking someone else's life or your life? No. I've seen that plenty of times too, where some people showed up late and they're like, oh, I had to do like 90 on the highway to get here. I'm like, you could have just called and said you were in traffic. I feel like risking your life and someone else's life is just pointless. You shouldn't do that. There's speed limits for a reason. Just go the speed limit. Credit card debt. So hear me out on this. I know everyone has their own opinion about the credit card debt, and I know some people need the money right away, and I get that. For me, on the other hand, I find it pointless because of the fact that that credit card debt can hurt you more than anything, you're better off maybe trying to go get a personal loan or something. Credit card debt can just ruin you, and it just goes up and up and up. And I feel that it's just pointless to get in that amount of debt when you could try your best to figure things out at the end of the day. So for me, I've never been in credit card debt because of the minute I got or made a cautious decision on to get a credit card, I knew how to use it right away. So I've always seen other people make mistakes with the credit cards and purchasing things that they shouldn't be purchasing, and they're in debt till this day. So that $1,000 turned into $10,000 because they just still haven't paid it. Expensive colleges. Now, the thing with college with me is I have a different perception when it comes to this because I didn't go to college. I went to a trade school and I didn't graduate because of the money situation. I feel like in the US, student loans is just outrageous. I don't know, feel like they take advantage. To me, I feel like expensive colleges isn't worth it, and I want to explain this a little bit more for the reason why I feel this way. My boyfriend went to a very expensive college. He got his master's degree in business psychology, and he owes around $174,000 for that college. It's like he still hasn't found a job that he went to school for because nobody wants to hire him because he doesn't have any training. So that's my little thing and my pet peeve when it comes to going to an expensive college is you pay all of this money, and if you do not know someone to get you a job, or if you do not know anybody in that little building or whatever place you go apply to now that you have the degree, they don't want to give you a chance because you don't have experience, which I think it's so wrong on their behalf. I feel like, how are you not going to get experience if nobody gives you the opportunity to get experience? So, arguing with people about your beliefs, whether it is religious beliefs, politics, I don't get into it. You guys know I do not talk about that on my channel because I don't want to. I feel like everyone's opinion is different, and a lot of people, a majority of people I should say, do not respect everyone else's opinion, which can cause a huge argument. I avoid arguments at all costs because I just don't feel like it's worth it. I feel like I could be doing something better with my time. Smoking. Need I say more? I mean, I've said this before. I think smoking is not only not worth it, but I feel like you're just paying to hurt yourself and your family. I have a deep connection with this because my mom had lung cancer a couple of years back. She smoked her entire life. She finally is like 2.5 years clean, and after her going through surgery with her lung, and it just opened all of our eyes, and now I see a different perspective when it comes to smoking. Before I used to say, you know what, it is what it is. Now I'm more like, it's not worth it. Like, why do people do it? At the end of the day, not only does it hurt you when you are smoking, but it hurts the people that are close to you more than yourself. Buying the newest tech gadgets. If you wait about like half the year, that high-tech phone or whatever you want right now that's $1,000 will probably be half off within a couple months from now. Road rage. I've never had road rage. I've always seen other people beside me have it, whether it is my sisters, whether it is the people around me while I'm driving. I just never got the point of it. I feel like we're all going to one place and we're all going to get there at the end of the day, and yeah, if someone drives slower than what you drive, patience goes a long way, because you do not know if that person in front of you got into an accident a couple months ago and they're afraid to drive. You do not know if that person in front of you is an elderly person trying to go to the doctors and that doesn't really like driving, but they try their best to get there because they have no one else to take them. So I have a lot of consideration when it comes to driving, or like when it comes to being on the road. I try my best not to get mad over the littlest things. Cutting your own hair. I have done this and I have failed dramatically. Like, I'm telling you guys, I cut these bangs, I want to say like back in 2011, 12. This is way before I was doing YouTube. And these bangs, I wanted them like on an angle, and I thought that I could do that. And I seen everybody else online doing it, so I copied a YouTube tutorial and I cut them, and they look really nice until I washed my hair the next day, and this bang was like, well, I don't have bangs, but you guys know what I mean. This like side piece, this long one, was like up to here. I had to wear bobby pins, like clipped over here, for months for it to just grow back. I was crying. I told myself I'll never cut my hair again. Cutting the ends, like snipping the ends, is fine, but when you want to do your whole hair, to me, I just don't think it's worth it. I've learned my lesson. Gym memberships. I used to go to the gym all the time. I used to thought that it was worth it until the quarantine hit, and I realized that the gym membership is not worth it. I used to wait all the time for a treadmill. I used to wait to use some weights because the gym I was going to didn't have a lot of equipment around. I mean, it was Planet Fitness. It was only $10 a month, so you get what you pay for. But most of the time I was there, I was kind of like waiting for it to be my turn to use certain things. While working out at home, because the gyms are closed now, I just realized how much money I'm saving with being here and just doing my regular exercises that I was doing there, and with just being in the comfort of my own home and not paying the $10 monthly fee along with the $90 lock-in fee every year. I'd rather work out at home any day now. Tanning in any form. I feel that tanning is not worth it because of what I went through, my experience. Again, my opinion. I used to go tanning all the time. I will put a picture around here to show you guys what I used to look like. I was getting a lot of dark spots. I still have them till this day. A lot of sunspots on my shoulders. I ended up going to get it checked, and she showed me a lot of skin cancer photos and explained things to me and what tanning does, and appreciating the fact that I am who I am. I'm not going to try to change my skin color because everyone else is doing it, and I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't worth it anymore. I canceled both my memberships. Obviously I have those sunspots for the rest of my life because that could have spread it around my whole body. I always put sunscreen on, even if it's a cloudy day. I spray it on me if I'm going outside. I am just very cautious when it comes to my skin now. Baby showers / wedding showers. And hear me out. Yes, I've never had a child, so I do not know how it feels to want to celebrate the baby, but I'll get into that in just a minute. But I have been to a couple wedding showers, and the minute you walked into the hall where they were having the wedding shower, they would have like a box saying, donations here are welcome, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't know about the whole donation thing until like someone called me and said, hey, you need to donate money or give money to them, give a gift. That's what wedding showers are for. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then when the wedding day came, it's like, hey, you need to give money, this and that. That's what weddings are for too. And I'm like, I just dished out money at the wedding shower. Like, what? So I get it. I get some people want to help out their family members and stuff like that with their wedding and their, the wedding showers, whatever that is. And that's fine. But for me, I will never do that. I'm sorry. And the same thing with baby showers. I've been to plenty of baby showers, and the reason why I say that it's not worth it when it comes to baby showers is that my sister ended up with like 5 diaper genies, and she did make a list online, but everyone got the same thing, and she had to end up like selling some of it. And then she didn't even use some of the stuff that people were giving her, and it was going to the trash. As for us, we've already talked about this, and no, I'm not pregnant, you guys, not for a long time. I feel, and he feels, that baby showers it's just not our thing. When it does come down to us deciding to have a baby, we will just have a baby, and we will maybe have like a cookout outside and announce what we're having, and that's it. We don't want any gifts. We don't want anything like that. If people do want to give us things, we want to put like a separate account for the baby. Whatever they want to do with that money, if they want to put it towards a Roth account or college or a new car, we want to have a separate account for the baby, and that's where the money will go. Sorry, I know I'm getting carried away with this one, but I've had my fair share of baby showers and wedding showers, and I just don't think it's worth it. Giant TVs or TVs in general. When it comes to TVs, I haven't owned one in a little over 7 years, I want to say. Yeah, 7 years. And that was by choice. I grew up with TVs my whole life. I always would think to myself, like, there's got to be a better way. Like, there's wires everywhere. They're just all hanging there. You have to buy a TV mount if you want it on the wall. You have to get the latest model because there's like HD. I just feel like it's not worth it. What's more worth it and what's cheaper and what actually looks better and is easy to put away and hide is a projector. I'm trying to pronounce it right so you guys know what I'm saying. Obviously I have an accent. Oh my goodness, does this save us so much space, because you don't have to get like the latest model or anything like that. You just hook it up to your phone and watch Netflix literally on the wall. There's even projectors where you don't need to like focus the lights, so you can watch movies in the daytime. You don't even need like that pull down screen. It's just so much cheaper and easier than having those big TVs in your house, and then you have to get rid of them and get the newest or latest model. The news. Let's face it, the news in the US is all about us turning against each other. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 stories that are positive. The rest is just negative, negative, negative. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to be surrounded by negativity like that. I don't want to hear about it, because you feel helpless when you're watching the news and you're seeing people dying, or you're hearing about this person being kidnapped. You can't do nothing, so you're helpless in that situation, and you go to bed thinking like that. And my whole life I've had people, like family members around me, watching the news, and I used to feel like a worried child back then. Like I used to feel very scared and worried about the world. And so the thing that I did when I got older is I shut the news off. Don't want to hear it. If I want to check the weather, I'll check on my phone. If I want to see like important things that are going on, you can just check on your phone and read an article. You don't have to watch what's out there. I don't know about anywhere else, but the news in the US is just depressing. Very, very depressing, and always trying to turn us against each other. Facebook. I've had my fair share of Facebook drama. I feel like we've all had that. I just feel like Facebook is an open diary for most people, and I haven't been on it since 2011, around there, and I do not want to go on it ever again. Again, another one that's my opinion. I am not a fan of alcohol. I just don't see it worth it. My boyfriend drinks wine. I don't judge him for it. Just for me, I just don't like it. Holding grudges. I will admit, I was or used to be the queen of holding a grudge. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would hold this one little grudge forever. I would even hold grudges against my sisters when I was younger. And as I got older, I realized that holding grudges isn't hurting that person you're holding a grudge to. You're just hurting yourself. So I just don't hold grudges anymore. It is what it is. If you don't like someone, or you don't like something that someone did, maybe talk to them. If they don't want to hear it, then just let them go. I try not to hold it against me. You know, I just let it go. Being at a job that you hate. Now, I've dealt with this. I've recently dealt with this, and that was the nursing home that I was at. I was happy in the beginning. I felt that I belonged there. I felt that, it was a super easy schedule. But towards the end, I realized that I was beginning to hate it there, and it just wasn't worth it for me. The pay was horrible, drama in the kitchen area, and I'm glad that I'm out of there. I'm glad that I'm lucky enough to be able to do YouTube full time, which I thank you guys so much for. But being at a job that you hate, I just don't think it's worth it. Life is short, and you should try your best to get out of that situation. Fad diets, whether it's, the celery diet where you're just drinking celery for a couple days, or the diet where you completely get rid of carbs for a month, and I just don't think it's worth it. I think the best thing when it comes to diets is not necessarily a diet, but more of a lifestyle change. That's where you're gonna see the best results, is just change the way you think of food, change the way you eat. You don't have to do a drastic diet because everyone else is doing it. Complaining. This is something that I recently learned, especially with living here. I was a complainer. I'm still working on it, but I do feel that it's not worth it to me anymore, because complaining gets you nowhere. All it does is boil your blood and prepares you for nothing. For me, instead of me complaining, I'm switching that complaining and I'm manifesting things. So I was complaining that we are in a small place, that I cannot have a pet, which you guys know I want a cat. But instead of me complaining, I'm manifesting it. I know that this is not forever. We will eventually move one day. I will get a cat, and that's just how I'm thinking things through now. Because, again, complaining is just not worth it. Gossiping. It says more about you than the person that you're gossiping about. Storage units. I feel like this is not worth it unless you are going on vacation and you need to store your things in a safe place. But for me, if you need to have a storage unit, then maybe you need to just go through your stuff. I don't know. If we were to have a storage unit, then I would feel that we have a problem with collecting things, and might as well just fix that problem by going through our things. Black Friday. This is another thing. I feel like this is more of a merchandise holiday, more of a clear off the shelves of the old stuff holiday, put everything on sale, and it's just a waste. A huge waste of money, time, aggravation. Black Friday shouldn't even exist. Lying. Before you know it, you start believing your own lies, and the only thing worse than lying to someone is lying to yourself. And the last thing that I find that's not worth it is a pool. The reason why I feel that a pool is not worth it is because I live in Massachusetts. If you guys are not familiar with Boston, we do not have warm weather like California or Florida or even Texas. We do not have warm weather here at all. The only times or the only months it's warm here is July and August. So I just pulled up the weather to show you guys what the degrees is here. And today, and I am filming this video in May. It's towards like the middle of May. And this is the degrees for today. I don't know if you guys can actually see. I know the glare is there, but it's 55 degrees and it's freezing outside. That's not your typical 55 degrees where it's like, yeah, we can go outside with some shorts or capris. No, my boyfriend just left the house to go grab some groceries, and he came right back inside and put a jacket on because he was freezing. So with that being said, when people purchase pools in this area, it is a huge waste of money because you only get to swim in it 2 months. 2 months out of the year. So then you have September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, because you can't swim in May here. June it starts to warm up, but it's not swimming weather. So you have 10 months. 10 months out of the year where that pool is literally sitting there collecting leaves, bugs, whatever it is it's collecting. At the end of the day, it depends on where you live and what the degrees is and how many times you're going to use it, because pool can definitely put you in the hole, literally. Anyways, you guys, those are the 28 things that I feel aren't worth it. So do not hate me for it. I know I seemed a little bit harsh in this video, but it's not towards you guys. It's towards the things I talked about. But anyways, in order for us to connect more, let me know down below what you guys feel that's not worth it. And of course, no fighting. If I see any fighting or any arguing in the comments, it's getting deleted, because I'm trying to keep this channel a positive community for everybody. Even though we might not agree on certain things, we can still learn from each other at the end of the day. That being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.